Good afternoon. Today is Easter, and many people across the world are celebrating the rise of Jesus Christ. Now, if that was the only thing that was within this celebration, do you know how many people who are outside of Christianity wouldn't be sending you messages and posting it on Facebook and making a big clamor about the fact that there are so many what Christians would call paganistic rituals and symbols within this holiday? The mere fact that Christians will say, study and show yourself approved, but yet ignore the fact that the bunny, the egg, that these are all symbolic of fertility and the fertility gods of the Sumerians and the Romans. That you will ignore the fact that when the Romans had the Council of Nicaea in 325 and made Christianity the state religion of Rome, that what they did from that point on was go out and incorporate as many paganistic rituals into the Christian religion simply because they were on a mission of conversion. Now, I know you're saying that beyond that, those things may be true, but it's the message, it's the meaning, it's what it means to me. Is that not the same thing that the Pharisees and Sadducees were saying to Jesus when he walked? They were trying to stand on traditions and say, it doesn't matter that we have these traditions, that we have these laws, that you can't take 1,000 steps, that we're beholden to the Romans and we're trying to keep the peace. We still are doing the right thing, but Jesus was saying, no, you must work in truth. You must work with the knowledge of truth, and you must act within the knowledge of truth. But how far away are you from that right now? How far away are you from the fact that you are celebrating Christmas on a day that is impossible for that to have been his birthday? If you even look at the Christian story, the shepherds were out in the fields with their sheep. No shepherd in Israel will be in the field in December. It's too cold. I've been to Israel during those winter months of January and February, and guess what? It's too cold. Shepherds of today don't have their sheep out there. So the only time frame would have been the spring, because that's what, if you look at the astrological calendar of what was going on in the stars, as well as the travel of the Persians who followed the prophecies and everything else surrounding that story, then it had to have occurred during this time of the year. Around April 17th is the estimation. So in truth, a true Christian should be celebrating his birth, his death, and his resurrection all on the same day, all centered around the same time frame. If you really wanted to do it in truth, and you would not have eggs, and you would not have bunnies, you wouldn't have these signs of fertility involved, because these come from, like I said before, the Sumerians, these come from the Romans, and the Romans were incorporating all these things into Christianity, but yet because you stood on these traditions for so long, now you can't break away from them. That sounds like the Sadducees and the Pharisees. And for all those on the other side, if you don't believe in Christianity, that's fine. If your goal is just to merely educate Christians, then I'm going to tell you, the violence and the anger and the frustration that you present is not going to draw them near you. It's going to push them away. The only ones you will draw near you is not the ones who have awakened. You will draw near you the ones who are frustrated, the ones who've been hurt by the church. And these are the ones been hurt by people, and they're just looking for somebody to care for them. They're not looking for a new thing. They're really looking for somebody who shows them love and care. But the venom that you spew sometimes within your framework of trying to educate really just push them away. You know, you attract more flies with honey. So if you want to attract people to your message, then attract them by showing them exactly what is and what is not, and let them choose. Let them choose. If a person wants to still walk in traditions that are paganistic, that they know is wrong, and these same people, yes, will sit up there and say that this is satanic and that is satanic. Well, guess what? If you're going to say that the pyramid is satanic, then your bunny is satanic. If you're going to say that the Ankh is satanic, then your Easter eggs are satanic. All right? If you're going to point out all these other symbols, then you got to look at your Christmas tree, you got to look at your Yule logs, you got to look at all these other ritualistic symbols that you have within Christianity and recognize that they come from a religion that's different from yours, or in some cases, it comes from something that you grafted into yours from a previous religion. So if you want to study and show yourself approved, then acknowledge what is true. See, to be approved means that you recognize that this is correct and now you act upon that. That should be your understanding. And there will come a day when people will have to recognize this. Right now, I'm just going to go slightly to the left. Right now, there are those Christian scholars who are changing the story of Moses. The reason why they're changing the story is because since they found the tomb of Akhenaten and the scrolls and the writings of Akhenaten, they realized that Akhenaten was teaching everything that Moses taught prior to Moses. That Akhenaten was teaching everything that Moses taught prior to Moses. Therefore, in order to make their story correct, in order to keep with the idea that the Hebrews were the first monotheistic group, they are changing the story of Moses to say that he was Akhenaten. That should be blasphemy to you. Because the last time the Romans changed the Bible, you weren't around. That was 600 years ago. And it doesn't really affect you now because you've been living on 600 years of tradition. So if you want to study, if you want to show yourself approved, then actually study and then make a change. I'm not telling you to give up your religion and Christianity. I'm just saying if you're going to do it right. If you're going to believe in it, believe in what it is and not what's been grafted into it. And if you're standing and you believe in something else, then focus on what you believe in. Gain your understanding, learn that truth, and then just promote your truth. Don't fight someone else. If someone wants to come to your truth, then graciously invite them in. But if they don't, if they want to stand over there, graciously accept the fact that they're going to stand there. So, hey, as far as the Easter message today, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about recognizing that I ain't got to believe the same thing that you do. But what I am saying, if you're going to believe in something, then believe it and understand the fullness of it. And not just walk around accepting whatever you've been told. Because most of the time, you've been told a bag of lies surrounding your truth. So have a great day. Enjoy this day. Make it about your family. Make it about your relationships. Your greatness is non-negotiable, and so is mine.